Happy Halloween, class. It's Miss Whistler here to check in on your Unit 3 assignments. I think everybody has kind of had a chance to dig in. And so now that we're about halfway through that unit, I wanted to review some things. Because of the hurricane, I backed things up a little bit. This is technically week 11, but we're going to continue to work on week 10 stuff, and we'll just be a little bit behind. We've got a half a week at the end of the course that we can use to pick some things up, and I'm going to fix some things. And so this unit will end on Monday, November 7th. So you've still got plenty of time. You've got a good 9 days, 8 days to keep trucking along on your assignments. So I wanted to go through some things with you in terms of expectations. So week 9, as usual, we have our pacing guide. Pacing guide is just sort of has the watered down, it's like a checklist of, hey, here are all the things that we did. So I'm human. I might forget something or anyway, so just, be patient. Know that I try to double check it, but I'm human. I miss things. But the most reliable thing is just for you to go through each lesson and write down what you need. So this assignment is cause and effect. And so the first lesson is about cause and effect. And so you have some blogs in there that you will need to complete. And then we start talking about organization. Now, prompt number 3. And I've had some great questions from a lot of my superstars in the class who enjoy working week to week, like having those goals. So for our cause and effect essay prompt, you will be writing an essay about someone that you think who fights for a human right or human rights in general who deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. So notice we're going to have 3 to 4 primary, secondary sources. There's a chapter in the book that you can consult. This one's going to be 4 pages. So we're talking about reasons why this person deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. So as a respected member of your profession, so think about, an area in which you might like to work. So for instance, if you're doing emergency management, who is someone who upholds the tenets of human rights as related to emergency management? For instance, we all have a right to feel safe and secure. So is there someone who is ensuring that? Okay. So be kind of tying in this idea of human rights to your content area that you're interested in pursuing. So find the person who upholds the tenets of the Declaration of Human Rights and provide evidence that that person deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. So go back and look at sort of the essence of the Nobel Peace Prize on this link. And then start doing some research for leaders in your profession, in your field, if you're going into the medical field. Who is someone who, because of their efforts in the medical field, is ensuring that we have human rights? So we've got 5 questions. For instance, which person would you recommend? How does this person's determination as related to human rights make that person worthy? What are the major requirements of the Peace Prize? What characteristics have others possessed that make them worthy? So if you look at the past winners, that can kind of sort of help you figure out what kind of person typically deserves this award. How will you ensure you maintain an objective tone through your use of evidence? So you can't just love this person, okay? You've got to have evidence that and not just from their mouth, from other people. You've got to have, research on what this person has accomplished and what this person has done. And then talk about how this person has impacted their global community. So you're not only arguing the reasons why this person deserves the award, but you're talking about the positive impact that this person has had. So the cause is the controlling principle. Okay, so it's how you're organizing your essay. And then the positive effects this person has had is your evidence. So we're using effects as evidence, but the cause is the controlling principle. Okay, so remember to use a variety of sources. Use NC Live, use news sources. You can use an interview on YouTube. You can use a TED Talk. TED Talks are great places to find really good information too. You can use some sort of speech. Now, some questions have been, does the person have to be alive or could the person be dead? I will entertain dead people as long as they're decently current. So, for instance, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights didn't happen until after World War II. So it's got to be someone from like the 40s on. So as long as you're staying sort of within that time frame, that's fine if the person has perished. The person does not have to be an American. It can be anyone globally. So from Sweden or China or Japan or Australia, anyone that you think has really is really an exemplar of this person really fights for our human rights and deserves this award. So that's our focus. So Juan Manuel Santos is the one who just is a person who just won the Nobel Peace Prize. And he won it because he has facilitated peace in Colombia. And you can do more research on him, and he'd be a good person to look at because there's a lot of interviews with him. There's a lot of information about him as president of Colombia and how he's tried to end this 50-year war between the rebels and the current regime. And so he's a great example. So that is your focus. Now, as just some review stuff, MLA format, make a copy of the one I have. Some of you guys are still not using MLA format, and I'm going to continue to penalize you more and more for each prompt. So make sure you see that and you are using that. Okay. And then there's the group work sign up for Unit 3. There's a group portion again to this. So just sign up for Unit 3. That's not what I want to do. I'm sorry. I wanted to right click. Okay. So make sure that when you get to the group assignment, the best thing to do, you don't have to technically sign up, but you just need to understand that that's there. So that's week 9. Now, week 10 is where you're really digging into your research, and then you're thinking about evidence, right? So are there people out there that says this person's a hack? This person, is not doing anything. And how do you ensure that you address people's concerns about the person's worthiness? So for instance, same thing with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. There's a lot of media out there that says, oh, Donald Trump is going to be a horrible president, or Hillary Clinton's is going to be a horrible president, right? So how do you take those people's concerns and then show that, hey, yeah, he did this, but look at this, or she did this, but look at this, right? So how do you develop that evidence to counter what someone would say about that person not deserving the award? And then there's some information about researching on Google that's really, really useful. So make sure you take a look at that. And then week 11, what I've done is I reposted that video. And this is the week where you'll comment on your partner's draft. So I would, on the Matchmaker blog, I would just pick someone from the block. So notice for Unit 3, just choose a blog. Okay, so just go in, and when you're ready, if that person has theirs or is close to having theirs, you can communicate with them or not. Okay, so all those are there, and then just comment. If you end up commenting on someone else's who already has a comment, that's still okay. All right, and then please view the works cited page guide. Some of you guys really need to work on your works cited page entries. So you really need to use this. If you have a question about what kind of source something is, then please email me and send it to me. I can help you figure out what it is. But this is just filling in the blanks. And it gives you lots of images of where you can find the information. It gives you page numbers. So for instance, if I want to do an article, let's say, an entire website. If I wanted to do an entire website, I would go to page 30. Okay. Notice it tells you where everything is. First name, last name, if you have that role. Okay. Is it an editor, owner, whatever? Okay. And it gives you an example, and it tells you the title of the site. Now, notice over here, there's a documentation map right here. Okay, and it's color-coded. It tells you where everything goes. If you do not have an author, you start with the next item, which might be the title of the work. Now, notice it's a hanging indent. Okay, this is hanging, the first line. The second line is indented. Okay, so whatever is here is what you use in your parentheses in your essay. Okay. Now, in order to do a hanging indent, I can show you. So notice this, okay, is here, right? Okay. And then let's do this. All right. Now this Google Docs will do it for you automatically, but typically if it does not, you will have to hit Enter and Tab. Okay. That's how you do a hanging indent. Super easy. You guys have got to master that by this essay. Okay. So notice this is a hanging indent. Now when it appears in an essay, notice this parentheses here. This McDonald is what is hanging. So whatever's hanging is what you put in parentheses to cite your source. Now, another thing that people are doing that people need to do a better job of, okay, is citations, okay? Anytime you use someone's exact words, these are exact words, they must have quotes around them. The only time they do not have quotes around them is if it's longer than 4 lines, okay? And then it's indented. So exact words go in quotes. Some of you guys are going to continue to get dinged heavily for that because that's called accidental plagiarism, and I would take a look at your syllabus because it reviews that in your syllabus, okay? So use that works cited page guide. It helps you, okay? Do not use the one in your book. This is the updated one. Okay, and then your blog for this week is the revision challenge. Okay, I have put the most common mistakes on this revision challenge so that you can go through each one and repair it. Okay, so you will need to enable the suggesting feature under comments after you upload your essay to your Google account. Okay. This will allow you to keep track of your changes. So you're going to go through all of these 10 things, 12 things, yes, 12 things, and you're going to do each of these. And there are pages in the book that will help you do them. Okay, so notice overused and boring words. Use a thesaurus, right? Or be more detailed. Reword a sentence with there is, there are, there was, there were. Okay. Change slang, change wordy language. It is my opinion at this point in time. I believe that in this essay, okay? Cliches you will need to take a look at. Think about combining sentences. Try to combine at least 3 sentences and use the pages in your book to help you. Make sure your lists are paralleled, okay? All right, so when you have a list, they need to be parallel. Make sure relationships between the ideas are clear, okay? Delete sentences that are repetitive or unnecessary, like announcements. In this essay, I am going to. In this paragraph, I am going to. Okay? You don't need to narrate your essay. You just do it. I know it's that you're writing a paragraph because I see the paragraph. Okay? So you don't need to narrate or announce it. Okay? Add 2 more details, maybe 2 more pieces of evidence, and look at L2. And then highlight each in-text citation or parenthetical citation and match it with the works cited entry. Okay? So that is your task once you're done with your draft for week 11. Okay, and then once you're done with all that, just copy and paste it into your blog, and then your friend, your match rather, can read it for you. Comment on the draft. Okay. All right, so instead of we were going to do professional tutors, but I think I'm going to save the professional tutor for the last essay, and so you're going to use each other and the items on the revision challenge. You're going to basically self-tutor. So, all right, so that's kind of everything that I wanted to go over. Continue to communicate with me. I've spoken a lot with Anna and with Kayla and with Heather and Darius, and I've spoken with a lot of you guys this week. Check your grades. I'm still working on blog grades. I should be done this weekend. But continue to communicate with me and let me know what you need, because I don't know what you need. Everybody's coming from a variety of backgrounds. Some of you guys just got out of high school. Some of you guys haven't been to school in 10 years. Okay, that's a wide range of experiences and knowledge. Okay, this is a fundamental class that you need to know, because you need to know how to write, because you're going to be writing in all of your classes. Some of you guys are going to be writing in your profession. And yes, you are going to need to know how to write a cohesive, unified paragraph, because you're going to be doing that in email. when you're a supervisor at your job, or, as part of your, administrative duties. Okay. So everyone just needs to learn to be a really good writer. So you are going to use this stuff and it's going to be so beneficial to you. So please, if you have a question, reach out to me, let me know. Okay. I'll be in touch.